so welcome to my first YouTube video. So I'm Olivia and I'm starting my channel. So I've actually filmed a lot of videos before. A lot, like 3. But I've never actually uploaded them because I've never found a purpose as to the channel I want to make and what I want it to be until now. So as of the 4th of April, which today is 25 days away, I'm moving to Dubai. So I'm actually working for Emirates as cabin crew and I'm excited. You know, like, Emirates has always felt right for me to apply to, and it's always been at the back of my mind to apply when the time is right. So obviously you can only apply for Emirates when you're 21, and when I got to 21 I was at university, so I obviously couldn't apply then because I was in my 3rd year. I couldn't apply, couldn't drop out to just apply for Emirates. So I finished my degree, and at the time Emirates, it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. So I finished my degree, I went into a job straight away relating to the degree, but it still was always at the back of my mind and it still always felt right. And at the time they did actually have a recruitment freeze, so obviously timing's not right again. I then came into 2019 and I was on the train back from London, and I was speaking to a guy who worked on the kitchen on the train. He's actually called Stephen, like we're friends now and stuff, and he was like, do you know what, I can see you doing Emirates. And I was like, dream? So we got talking, I sat down, like I was on my phone, blah blah blah, and I went on Instagram and I saw, do you know like how it comes up with like the sponsored posts and stuff? It was Emirates picture, and it said hiring cabin crew in Manchester. And I was like, Stephen, like look, like my phone's listening to me. And he was like, no, it's fate. I still believe that my phone listened to me. But anyway, so I got home and I was like, Tom, like, I want to tell you something, like, you know, I've always wanted to do Emirates. And he was like, honestly, Olivia, like, go for it. And he took all my photos for me, did my CV. Honestly, like, it's been the dream. And I think that's what you need, like someone supportive in your life to make this decision with you. I prepared myself, like I watched loads of these videos, tips on the interview, tips on the assessment day, open day. But you know what, like I still kind of went in blind that day. Like I did not know whether that was going to be a CV drop-off, an assessment day, both. I don't know I was going to be invited back. But I feel like if I didn't watch these kind of videos beforehand, then I would have had no idea as to what to expect. I thought I'd sit down and film a video what will hopefully help some of you guys to get the job. Well, I can't say that really, because what I'm going to say isn't going to guarantee you the job. It may help towards it, it may help towards your research, tips, blah blah blah, but it's not going to guarantee you the job. Like, only you can do that. Like, the job is yours to lose. So yeah, like if you carry on watching, then hopefully I'll help you along the way to, you know, landing your dream job if this is what you want it to be. So I'll start with the what should I start with? Hair, makeup. So, and obviously what to wear. So I wore business attire, so I'll put a photo here of what I wore. So it's kind of like a blazer, white shirt, knee-length skirt below the knee, and nude stockings. Also closed-toe heels. I just wore court shoes. I think I got mine from River Island, just because I didn't want to get some for that day in case I'm never ever going to wear them again. So I got some what I think I would wear again. I mean, I've not worn them yet, but and my hair and makeup. So my makeup was kind of like this. So you're not allowed eyelashes. Eyeshadow's got to be obviously blended out. It's got to, I think they say like orange and browns. I've got a bit of pink in mine, but I think that's okay. And maybe like a bit of shimmer on the lid, eyeliner, lips. I wore a red lipstick. I think they request that, to be honest. And hair was business, like slick back in a low bun, donut, and it is a big change to see yourself like slick, what they call it, slap back hair. Obviously, if you want me to show you, I could film a video on that. But yeah, so on the day, I woke up pretty early because it starts at 8 AM. So I woke up at like, I think it was 5 o'clock, and I looked outside my window and it was white, like with snow, like deep snow. Anyway, like the Uber cost me about £27 for a 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive. Anyway, I don't want to speak about that anymore. So I got ready and I left for the day, and I arrived there. I actually slid in because my heels were so slippy. I thought, like, could this day get any worse? So I walked in and there was like about 20 people or so there already, and there was like 2 groups. So there was this group and this group. So I went over to this group first, and I was trying to make conversation with them, like, hi, how are you? Like, where have you come from? Blah, blah, blah. And all the girls literally were just stood there like this. Like, oh. Anyway, I was like, oh my God, is this going to be like the whole day like this? Like, oh, I'm not enjoying it already. So I looked over to the other group and I walked over and I was like speaking to them for a bit. And they were so lovely. Like, I follow all of them on Instagram now, like one of the girls I speak to regularly, and I really clicked with them. So the day started and we went in. There was about 90 of us all together, and I was number 3. So I was called up, I gave my CV, and really lovely. She was called Kate, my interviewer, and there was just one of them on the day. Now, I did, obviously, when I was doing my research, they do sometimes have like 2 recruiters or 3 recruiters there. Mine was only 1, which I quite enjoy because then it's just one opinion, and if she likes you, she likes you. After the CV was handed in, she was like telling us about the life of Dubai and stuff, and I was sat next to a girl who I'd met and we were speaking. I think she works for British Airways at the moment, and I was like, oh, how, like, why do you want to do Emirates, blah blah blah, making conversation. And she was like, it's always been a dream. Like, I did apply for Emirates before I did British Airways, and I unfortunately got rejected, but I really want to come back and try again. And after Kate had finished talking about Dubai, like, we all got taken out and put into groups to go back in and do the tasks. And this girl, she was like, you know, I'm just going to go for a cig, and we were like, oh, like, we don't want to smell, so we're not going to come. And you know, she never came back. She honestly never came back. Like, that was the weirdest thing ever, you know, like, she'd always wanted to do Emirates, it was a dream. Like, why do you not come back? Like, I think nerves get the better of some people. Like, when you're in a room full of girls who look the same, and boys, you know, it can be quite intimidating, so be prepared for that. The first task, we obviously got separated. There's about 50 in a group, and we had this card with questions on it and a picture, and we were separated into like little groups of like 5, say. So I was the first group to grow up. I was the first group to go up because obviously I was number 3. And I had a question. I think mine was like, what skills and attributes do you need for this position? So obviously you've got to use your own initiative, you've got to be talkative with your team, you've got to be creative, you've got to understand the role of what your team are talking about. I think ours was where a man was looking up into like the overhead cabin, and a woman was looking down to the seat. So the skills and attributes, you've just kind of got to make it up as you go and just relate it to the role that you'll be doing. Now, with this, like, the key part is to speak to the group. Like, it's all about confidence as to how you present yourself, how you stand up, and you can talk in front of loads of people. Now, there were some people who were really quiet. There were some people who literally just turned around and spoke to the interviewer. Like, that's not what you're supposed to do. Like, it's about team. So you're supposed to obviously make eye contact with other people, make yourself approachable and open to any questions at the end that someone may have. And then we got taken out. And this is the part where it feels like X Factor, like people get rejected. So she came out, and obviously there were about 90 people before, like, as she came out, and she put numbers on the wall as to who went through. So everyone else had to go home at that point, unfortunately. Like, it was sad, and there was people who thought they've got this, who got rejected. So it's all in what the recruiter thinks, I think. Like, they must have like some strict criteria, because there was this one girl and she literally looked the part. Like, her mum had bought her a red scrunchie, red shoes, but like, that's a bit too much, to be honest. But she honestly looked like an Emirates girl, and she didn't get through the first like task. So at that point she got rid of, I'd say, about just over half. There was about 30 or so left, if that. And we were getting put into little groups of about 4 or 5 of us, and in this task we had a scenario. Now, the scenario I had was there was a priority seat. Which of these passengers would you give the priority seating to? And it was something like frequent flyer, first time flyer, mother and baby, an athlete with an injured leg, and other people. Now, this seat was next to a fire exit and it had extra legroom. So each of the passengers did make sense as to why they should have it, but obviously you can only choose one. But even that's not the right answer. Like, the whole point of this group task is to work in a team. Now, we were sat down and we were given this, and the interviewer went, "Now speak." And literally everyone went like this to each other. Like, I just sat back like this, like thinking, like, should I just go home now? I didn't really get a word in edgeways. So there was me and this girl next to me called Tia, and I was like to Tia, "So what do you think?" Like, I couldn't get a word in edgeways to any of the other people, so I just started to speak to Tia, and I think the recruiter picked up on that. Like, the whole point of that task is to work in a team. You've got to show confidence, but not overly confident. So like, that means like, put your own input in, but listen to other people. And that's what the rest of the team didn't do. And I thought that would go against me, to be honest, because my team just literally just went in. But I think she picked up on the fact that I was a team player within that, and I spoke to Tia within me and her, and we kind of made a decision on our own. And there was like one girl, and she was overconfident, and like, she spoke over everyone. And when the recruiter actually asked her a question individually, she didn't know the answer. Like, there are them kind of people there who try and bring you down throughout the day, but you've got to just be there for yourself. Now, after that, we were taken out, and I was the only one put through from our group. And I was so proud of myself, you know, like, I literally thought after that, there was no way that I was going to get taken on, because my voice didn't show as much as it could have, or, you know, I just didn't feel as confident within that round. But I don't think that round is about how you portray yourself. I think it's how you work in a team. And that's what Emirates is about. Like, you've got to work in a team. So yeah, I made it through to the final interview. There was only 5 of us out of the whole 90 or whatever, however many turned up, that made it to the final interview. Now, so far, I'm the only one that's confirmed the job. I'm the only one that's got the golden call, and I'm moving. And literally, like, I am buzzing. I'm so proud of myself for getting that far. It took 2 weeks and 4 days for them to get back to me with the result. Now, some people can be waiting for months, some people can be waiting for weeks. And as long as you've not got an unsuccessful email, just keep positive. Like, it's so hard. Like, I was on the edge of my seat every single day and I was checking my portal, everything. Like, I felt so on edge, but you've just got to persevere with it. And as long as you don't receive the unsuccessful, just keep your head high with it, because that's the most important thing, like positivity. I can do a video on the final interview, but it was literally just customer service experience and how you handle each situation, and everything obviously has to relate to Emirates working in a team, because you are going to be working with completely different people every single day. Like, you're not really going to work with the same people twice, so you've just got to be prepared for that. But yeah, that was the journey, and now I'm moving. So I did ask on Instagram, like, if there's any questions that people are worried about, so I thought I'd answer them. Oh, have I deleted it? Okay, so are they strict on the 212 centimetre arm reach? Yes. Like, when you look at that it's high. You think, I am not going to reach this. Now, I'm 5'8", and when I got to it, I was like, oh, this is so easy. But when you look at it from afar, you think, but honestly, like, you do. And they do suggest, like, yoga or something to help, like, increase your reach. Luckily, I've got, like, a background of gymnastics, so I'm good at stretching. Like, it isn't hard, but it is high. I think they say 160 centimetres on height. I think I'm 173. So are they strict on the age? So yeah, they are strict on the age. Like, there was a girl that came in for the interview and she looked gorgeous, she was ready for the day, and she was 20 and she was 6 months prior to turning 21. And she was like, you know, I've been for the interview before, but they told me that I was too young to come back 6 months before. And we sat down and the woman was like, now, if anyone's not 21 and you're not turning 21 within 2 months, leave. And she had to leave. Like, they are that strict. Obviously, because, like, I got the result within 2 weeks. So if I wasn't 21, then, you know, I wouldn't be able to get the job. So maybe the turnaround is like 2 to 3 months as to when you hear back. So yeah, they are really strict on that. But, you know, like, it is worth the wait. If it's what you want to do, just do research for ages and ages and ages, and you'll have a better idea when you go into it of what to expect, and tips and little tricks along the way to help you get in the job that you want. So yeah, like, that's my journey. So obviously I'm starting soon, and then I've got training for 2 months, and then I start my flying. So along the way I am going to be doing videos and, you know, vlogs and everything like that of my whole journey and general life in Dubai. Like, that's amazing in itself. So do you know what, just watch it if you like it, and if you want to, just please subscribe. And yeah, if you have any questions, just you can always message me. My Instagram is down below, or you can comment down below, and I'll always answer them and always reply. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.